is the 6th movie in the DC Extended Universe. It stars Jason Momoa as Arthur Curry / Aquaman, and he is summoned to Atlantis to take down the Ocean Master, his brother Orm, played by Patrick Wilson, who wants to start a war with the Land Dwellers. Now, if you have seen previous reviews of mine, you will know that I have not been too kind to the DC Extended Universe. I think the movies where they focus on one superhero, I think those movies are fine. Man of Steel is fine, Wonder Woman's good up until the 3rd act, but BVS, Suicide Squad, Justice League, all abominations to cinema, if you ask me, and all abominations to mankind. So every time I go into a DC movie now that's part of the DC Extended Universe, I'm a bit skeptical. However, this does have James Wan directing. James Wan is one of my favorite horror directors. He's done The Conjuring, The Conjuring 2, Insidious, so that gave me a little bit of faith. Also, Jason Momoa was the one bright spot of Justice League for me, and that gave me some hope as well. And I walked out of Aquaman pretty satisfied. I don't think this is a great film, but it's fine. You know, I enjoyed it. For what it was, I enjoyed it. Get the positives out of the way first. Jason Momoa has the charm. He has the charisma. He is really good as Aquaman. He's quippy. He's funny. He's charismatic. Visuals, for the most part, in this movie are really, really good. All the underwater stuff, for the most part, is really good. Some original, unique designs. Very, very, very colorful. This was really, it kind of felt like I was watching a live-action Pixar movie in parts sometimes, because you know how colorful those movies can be. It really livened the movie up a lot. Fight scenes were really cool. The action scenes were very unique for a superhero movie, and the fight choreography was done very well, and I really like James Wan's style of filming. He does a lot of one-takes. There's a scene very early in the film that is literally one take, and it's filmed in so many different angles, and I was like, that is a very unique way of filming this. And he does that a lot. There's not a lot of flash cutting. There's not a lot of jump cuts, thank God. And when the movie utilizes slow-mo, because of course Zack Snyder was the builder of this franchise, he was the architect. Obviously his style is to use slow-mo, and Wonder Woman overused it. Justice League overused it. Luckily, when they use slow-mo in this movie, it's not excessive, which really, really helps. I really like the internal conflict that Aquaman has to face in this movie between him having to go back to Atlantis and fight his brother to just, you know, maybe just wanting to be a land dweller. I thought that that was handled really well. There are aspects of the script, though, that could have been handled a lot differently. For instance, there is a scene towards the end of the 2nd act that takes place in the Kingdom of the Trenches. It's a great scene, no doubt. It's definitely inspired by James Wan's horror movies that he has made. But at the same time, it's very randomly placed, and it feels so out of place in the movie. It has no purpose. The scene is so random that it literally starts from nothing and just ends with nothing. It didn't make sense to me. It just came out of nowhere. And I didn't really get that. Also, Amber Heard's acting in this movie is very, very robotic. Did not like her acting at all. She sounded like a robot when she delivers her lines. I'm sorry, she's a terrible actress. Gonna say it now. We all know that, okay? Patrick Wilson as Orm, I thought that that was a good casting choice. He just looks really, really silly, but after seeing the movie, I think he was miscast. I think they could have went with somebody younger, and yes, the makeup in this movie for him is very, 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 very cartoony and very silly. It kind of just reminded me, like, it's Thor, really. Two brothers trying to battle for the throne. It's Thor all over again. He's Loki underwater. Some of the CGI in this movie is beyond bad. The underwater stuff, I get why it kind of looks a little weird. It took a while to adjust to that, but I'm like, I get it. They're underwater. I mean, they can't, obviously they're filming on a giant green screen, or they're obviously not filming in a giant tank, but it's a giant green screen. They can't make swimming movements like that, so Obviously, you have to use CGI to animate them, and that's fine. But there were some instances during the land battles where I was like, they rolled with that with CGI? That's awful. That was very disappointing to me for a huge budget movie like this. To have some terrible CGI like that, that's not going to cut it. Also, Black Manta's in this movie, completely pointless. He's in 2 scenes and he does literally nothing. There's an entire section devoted to him at the beginning of the movie, and like, you could have just cut that out. Like, this movie is already long enough. Why didn't you just cut that for the sake of time? Also, pacing in the first 10 minutes of the movie is wonky. It is so off. The movie feels rushed right from the get-go. We're jumping all over the place. Scenes don't really sync up together, I don't think. And in that regard, it felt like everything was just happening a bit fast, you know? Once we get to Momoa as Aquaman, that's where the movie starts to pick up and the pacing becomes more tolerable and a lot better. It's just those first 10 minutes feel a bit rushed, and it just seems it's going through everything a little too fast. Overall, though, I did really enjoy Aquaman. I think this is the best DC Extended Universe movie to date. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's definitely got its issues, but there is some unique stuff in here in terms of visuals, action sequences, stuff that I really enjoyed, and there is some good humor. I actually laughed in a DC movie. So I'll say that. Aquaman's pretty quippy. I think this is the best DC Extended Universe movie to date. It's the best of the 3. Yes, there's only 3 of them. I'm not counting the other ones. Hopefully DC and Warner Brothers can continue on this path, because I think this movie's going to make a lot of money, and I think they have something on their hands here. It's not groundbreaking. It's pure entertainment. That's what I'm going to say about Aquaman. I'm going to give Aquaman a B-. It's probably the highest grade I've given a DC Extended Universe movie. I did give Wonder Woman a B+. I'm definitely lowering that after having watched it a couple times now, because that third act in Wonder Woman, no. Guys, that's my review of Aquaman. Thank you for watching my review of Aquaman. Can't wait for you guys to see this next week when it's out. I want to hear your thoughts when it does come out. I want you to drop me some feedback in the comments section below. I will leave my link to my website there. You will find my links to my social media accounts. You can like, comment, and subscribe at the end of this video. My name is Alex. I'll see you soon.